Welcome back to part 2 of our video in which we're talking about what these people on January 6th were really upset about. What the Republicans stood for them, that they were willing to be seditionists and even called traitors by some. What were they in fear of losing? We learned that while there wasn't a Republican platform because they couldn't get people together, they did have a set of core values that would inspire the Republican Party based on the leadership of our great ex-president. In this video, we're going to talk about just what they promised to do for these people. Just for a moment, let me try to introduce the topic with a scenario from my working days. If there's anything I learned in my career in the medical business and education, it was the importance of problem solving. Take education as one example. It was important to the state and federal government that when they made decisions that were to become mandates, they would create a process that made it seem as if the schools were not only making decisions on how to carry out those mandates, but made them think they were actually part of the decision-making process that created those mandates. It was important for the state and federal government to make the schools think that they were looking out for them, even though many of those mandates were unfunded. Now, Republicans are masters at making people think they're looking out for them, but without spending money. That's genius. That's what makes them so great. They are fiscally responsible, unlike Democrats. You question how good they are? Now, I know you know how important it is to wipe out the deficit when Democrats are in power. Remember, here is a plan that a friend of mine was able to get, which lays out the Republican plan to wipe out that deficit. And it's called Nothing is the New Something, or NOT for short. Health insurance for all, NOT. I hope you realize how hard this is to keep a secret, to say that you have the best healthcare program for the least amount of money, and it covers pre-existing conditions, and not have a plan, because as all those people knew when they stormed the Capitol, that in the end, with no health insurance, your premiums are zero. How about Medicaid and Medicare? Medicaid, not. As Jesus said in the Gospel of Saint Avarice, God helps those who help themselves. And Medicare, not. In retirement, you'll have more time to be healthy anyway. And if things don't work out, funeral expenses are not even part of health insurance anyway. Gun control, not. Why should there be restrictions on, for instance, the type of weapons a person can have, or whether they're mentally ill? How do you discern whether someone is mentally ill in this day and age? And the next thing you know, they're going to make all kinds of rules about cars and air travel and prescription drugs. Okay, those are probably bad examples, but remember, if guns are outlawed, only outlaws will be gunned. No, that's not right. But that's good, right? Well, anyway, climate change. Not. Nice try, Democrats. It was 0 degrees yesterday in northern Canada. Is that what you call global warming? Social Security. Not. The government should not be financing happy hours for seniors. Most of these people did not have very much when they started out in life, so having a little less in their senior years is really just about the circle of life. Postal service. Not. The Republicans have worked hard to bankrupt and dismantle the post office over many years. Now's not the time to stop their tremendous strides. Mr. Trump's appointees just released a plan that would delay deliveries and raise the price of those delayed deliveries in order to make the post office profitable. Now that's the kind of vision we need more of. Infrastructure, not. A little dirt and arsenic in the water actually makes you stronger. And many potholes aren't as big as they look. How often do most of us really use those bridges in the big cities? Easier access to voting? Not. Just because you have a right to vote does not mean it has to be easy. If it's a challenge, you will appreciate your right to vote even more. Consumer protections, not unnecessary. Corporations have promised to look out for you. As the Republicans will tell you, you just have to let the free market system work. Except maybe for tariffs and tax breaks for corporations. If a company, for instance, made something that injured or killed people, people would eventually stop buying it, and that company would go out of business. Minimum wage hike. Not. The corporations have worked hard to keep wages at a minimum, so raising them now would make no sense. Hard fact, when the minimum wage goes up, unemployment goes up. Do you want to pay $4 for a small bag of fries, or $3 for a donut, or $5 for a cup of coffee, just so someone can make a living wage? Minimum wage is better than no wage at all. You're probably asking, how do the Republicans put together such a great and well thought out plan? A plan that does something by doing absolutely nothing. It's genius. In our next video, we're going to reveal the up till now secret Republican problem-solving plan. We hope you can join us to learn about the idiotic plan of the Republicans. If you don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. God bless. Hope to see you for the next part.